out there. So, I know a lot of you know me as like a boutique kind of guy with fancy, expensive pedals that you guys heckle. That pedal's like $800. What can I say? I'm a junkie. But I do have cheap pedals, and they have served me well for an eternity. So what I want to do is go over all you guys out there that might be struggling a little bit and like money's tight or whatever. Let's review some pedals that are cheap and by reputable companies that have been doing it forever. And I guarantee you, you see a pros board, at least one of these companies' pedals are going to be on there. So I'm going to go over 3 pedals. These are the 3 pedals that I think, any guitar player out there, you should be able to get through anything if you have these 3 pedals. So let's zoom in for a closer look and take a look at what they are. All right, so I know some of you love foot vision, right? Here we go. Some feet, no holy socks this time. Okay, so the lesson is on inexpensive pedals. Now, I like Craigslist and eBay and all that sort of thing because you can find some great deals. Like take me, for instance, trying to upgrade in my studio. I'll let all these guys go for $150, right? So anyways, no, I'm just throwing it in there. But anyways, there's tons of people like me or that need money or whatever that are trying to upgrade that'll get rid of pedals for dirt cheap. So these are normally very cheaply priced pedals, and they're awesome. I've used Boss pedals forever, and you'll see those things on everybody's boards. I was fortunate in my last job. I got to hang out with a lot of really big session guitar players, and you'd be surprised. A lot of the guys have really expensive, cool, high quality boutique pedals, but this one guy in particular, Tim Pierce, one of the biggest session guys there is. And he was telling me, this Boss EQ is like one of my secret weapons, and it's like the Nashville secret weapon. So it's an $80 pedal. And, these guys can afford anything. And, they're using them. So don't think that just because they say Boss or whatever, they're not great. I love Boss pedals. Now, so let's go over. If I was going to pick 3 pedals, these would be the 3 things that I would have. These will get you through most any gigs. Wahs, all that stuff are cool, but it's not something you're going to use on a regular basis. So if I had to pick 3, I would pick an overdrive or a distortion. I would pick a chorus, and I would pick a delay. Now let's just go over some quick, easy sounds we can get with just these 3 pedals. So you guys might know I like to use a little bit of gain on my amp. About that much. Now, that being said, I can just roll down my guitar's volume and get a nice clean tone. Especially if I switch to one of my other pickups. Now, what's a delay cool for? Well, delay is awesome because it'll fatten up the sound a little bit. So say we're just... And don't forget your rose-colored screwdriver over here. That's really important. So anyways. Now we can kick the delay on. Let's fatten that up a little bit. We'll turn up the effect level, turn up the feedback, the time a little bit. Right? Just a little extra something. With. Now let's say I'm playing that same part and people are getting bored to tears with it, and I go into a second verse and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I can't think of anything else to put in, so let's just kick on another pedal, and this is where a chorus pedal comes in. So... Right, so what we can do is we can take that same riff and kick on another pedal, a chorus pedal, which is a modulation device, which is going to add that kind of wet or warbly kind of sound, right? So here we go. listen to Alice in Chains, The Rooster, or any of those kind of songs, and chorus is just huge and fat, but it's a really cool sound. We can turn up the intensity and the speed. Right, so that's a couple sounds right there. Now, if I turned up my delay, now what I did right there is I just got in between the repeats. So here's it. That's the repeat. Now I just find that right in between. Right, and you can get awesome stuff by just doing a couple little tweaks. Two pedals, and I haven't even kicked on the overdrive yet. So what we can do from here, we can shorten up the delay time. Right, kick back our intensity, keep the speed. Let's kick that low. Actually, we'll kick up the intensity, turn the speed back, so we have more of a nice wide kind of sound. Turn down the intensity a little bit, and then we'll come in here and we'll add our overdrive. Right, so right there, you know, I went and saw, Zakk Wylde was one of my favorite guitar players when I was a kid, and I went and saw him play at a huge show, and I was one of those kids that always had to run up to the front and be like, what's he using, what's he using? Two pedals, folks. This pedal right here, not this exact pedal, although this is got a story behind it, and I'll tell it to you later. But he had that pedal and a Boss Super Chorus. That was it. And he got massive tone. No boutique pedals, no boutique amp, just an old JCM 800 and those two pedals, and it sounded insane. So my point being, you don't have to spend a ton of money. You know, you could find each one of these pedals normally costs, I think they're under 150 bucks, all of them. This one's maybe 120. This one's maybe, well, this one's been modded by Keeley, but even so, I think you can find him for maybe 150 bucks. This guy is, you know, maybe 120 at Guitar Center or whatever. So they're inexpensive to begin with. Now, you can get this pedal non-modded, and that thing's like, I don't know, 70 bucks, you know, which is, you know, I mean, granted, it's a little bit of money, but nothing compared to boutique pedals, right? And the point is the sound is great. So I know I've shown my board before. It's got all these fancy pedals on it or whatever, which I love, but never underestimate some good Boss pedals. Voodoo Labs, they make great pedals. All their pedals, I think, are under 150 bucks. Not one of them sounds bad. This Micro Vibe over here in the corner, if you guys like Jimi Hendrix, that's the one-way ticket to the Purple Haze, baby, groovy, right? It's just awesome pedal. So this pedal will kind of cop that vibe too. Very, very, very cool. So for all you out there who feel that you're broke and can't afford anything, do not be discouraged. Boss pedals, Voodoo Lab pedals, you know, DOD, there's a lot of pedals that make, a lot of companies that make great, inexpensive pedals. So there you go, an inexpensive route to killer tones. All right, thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.